วัสดีค่ะ I'm Sochin Lim Griengai and welcome to Be My Guest, the program that brings you successful stories of institutions and entrepreneurs in both international and domestic arena. In this episode, we are at the Singapore International School of Bangkok to look at some of their projects that are helping to give back to society. Let's hear more about it with our guests today. In today's episode, we are joined by Mr. Kelvin Koh, Chief Executive Officer of SISB Group, Chairman of the School Governing Board. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
Thank you for joining us today. So today we will be talking about the projects that the school have been giving back to the society. And one of them is actually called We Give, We Share project. So can you tell us how this project has started?
Okay, I think it's very important for school, to educate our kids, about social responsibility.
Yes, of
So
course.
this is also our main objective, to share with our kids. They are always underprivileged
Yeah.
community or people that may need a giving
course.
hand.
Yes.
So that's why we have been always explore, various kind of community projects to help out.
I see.
So in 2013, I think it's initiated by one of our principal.
Okay.
That she want to lead this project called We Give, We Share. To give back to the poorer rural community.
I see.
To help them in terms of just put in a little bit of our time, our effort, with all the stakeholder.
Yes.
To share some of our gift to them.
Of course, yeah, I see. So it has been ongoing for 4 years
Yes,
right
that's
now.
right.
I see. So where do you go to? Do you go to the provinces or do you help out with, the schools or projects in the city?
Okay, normally we will find a quite rural area.
I
It's
see.
very difficult to access. We have been to Kanchanaburi and
I
a few
see.
other provinces, which really, is very difficult to be reached by the people.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, so we have been contacting them, and see what they really need help. I remember one of the year, I think they need some power. So we did raise some fund, to buy some solar panel.
Oh, okay, that's very nice.
To bring it over there and
I
fix up
see.
for them, And I think recently, we have refurbished some of the classroom, of one of the rural community,
I see.
Because we will ask them what they need,
Yeah.
and because we want to go there and we want to really know what they really need help.
And actually make a difference. I'm sure if you actually help them with the right things,
That's right.
it will make a difference.
That's
for
right.
sure.
I think I always look at that, and I mean they always end of the day, you can see the laughter,
Yes.
they have and the joy they have, it makes very satisfaction.
course.
And also it give our students and our teachers, because we have a lot of teachers coming from foreign country.
Yeah.
And maybe have not seen, how bad is the condition
Yes, of
that their
course.
people live in,
Yes.
So and also as well as our children, So this is something that a kind of education that always back in our mind of our school,
Yeah.
To make sure that the kid understand their people need help.
Yes, I'm sure it's a priceless satisfaction kind of way.
Yes,
that
it's
they
always
receive.
it's always pleasure to give back to the society.
Of course. And then there's also a newer project that just has been initiated not long ago, which is an English language project. Can you tell us a little bit more of how it started?
Okay, this is something that is another project that I think the school, SISB is proud of.
Yes.
I think what we look at is that we want sustainable.
Okay.
How to be sustainable, not just ad hoc basis to giving and help, So as a school, we look at what are we good at.
Yes.
So we look at we are educational
Of course.
institution, right?
Yes.
So what we come out is that why we don't teach English for the those kids that have underprivileged to learn
Of course.
the language.
Yes.
So this is how we started.
I see. So do you send your students there, or do you send your teachers to these schools to teach them English?
I think to be sustainable, we always want to make it more visible, more visibility, you know. So we find a community that's nearby to us.
Okay.
We actually found a school that is Kanchana Pisset, you know, Ramanai School.
Okay.
You know, it is not far from SISB.
Yes.
We have do a survey before we have an agreement with them, you know.
I see.
So we look at the condition of the kid, you know, and also the level of the English. They
Okay.
really need help, you
I
know.
see.
So I think we're trying to improve people's life.
I
You
see.
know, I mean, this is something that English language, you know, is always a very good, you know, asset to have.
Definitely,
You know?
yeah. For the future, even for their career in the future, it's definitely an asset indeed.
That's right. So we have visited the school, you know, and we look at it, you know, and just now you asked me where we go to the school?
Yeah.
No, we don't. You know, we brought them actually into the school.
I see.
We want them to have a different opportunity. You know,
Okay.
different. Oh, what is an international school?
I
You know, and
see.
a different ambient. You know, with a different kind of teaching.
Of
you know,
course.
so who is the involvement with the projects? You know, before I come out, how we decide. The involvement projects is huge in the community here. You know, we have all the stakeholders, you know, from the management down to the teachers and staff, you know, to the students and to the parent support. You know,
see.
You know what do the parents do? During break time, they sponsor some food, some meal, you know, to this kid. You know,
I see.
so what we choose, how we went to a survey in the school, and we come out, you know, work with the management in the Kanchana Pisset Ramanai School.
I see.
So we said, can we, because it's a primary school, they
Yeah.
have from grade 1 to grade 6. So what we say, can we select every grade 20 students, each of the, you know?
I see.
So it just give them at least every level they have opportunity. You know, of course we can't hold the whole school,
Definitely not,
but we
yeah.
just tell them we can host them every grade 20 student each. You know, and they come over the school. You know, on a weekend.
I see.
You know, so we give them this lesson. You know.
I see, I see. Sounds like definitely a great project indeed. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this break. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
okay.
joining and telling us about the project.
Okay,
ขอบคุณ
thank you.
ค่ะ
ก็
Welcome back to the program. We have entered our second break, and with our second guest today, Mr. Victor Giam Chong Guan, head of Singapore International School of Bangkok. สวัสดีค่ะ
ครับ
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
So, can you explain to us about the project that you've been looking into, which is called the SISB CSR English Language Project, right? Can you give us more detail about this project?
Okay. Actually, the project is to help the Thai student to improve on their English language skill, such as reading, comprehension, and grammar as well. Right. So, what we do is that we have sessions conducted on Saturday and Sunday.
I see.
Right. About 18-week session on Saturday as well as on Sunday. Different group of students where they are taught English skill, such
I
as
see.
reading together, all right, presentation in front of the class,
I see.
right, phonics, pronunciation,
Yeah,
right, quizzes, and even one-to-one coaching.
I see.
And all this is to make learning of English fun and interesting,
Of course.
right, and to help them to be interested to want to learn even more.
I
right?
see.
So, and these students come actually very regularly, right, for the 18th session. And then of course we have teacher and student helper.
Okay.
Right? Teacher are the main one who teach the
Yeah.
program, and student helper, they also involve in some part of the teaching,
I
such
see.
as group work. So they help small group.
Okay.
Then like those are very weak. Then one-to-one, so the student helper teach.
I
Right.
see.
So in the end, we are hoping that the students are able to improve on their English.
I see. So you mentioned that there are 18 sessions, right?
Okay.
How many sessions are there?
Oh, 18 sessions.
18. So how long does it take? Like 2 months?
Oh,
or
no,
more?
actually it's spread from 1st October where we started the first project until June. Right? So it's,
Okay.
and I divided into 3 modules.
Okay.
Right? So module 1, module 2, module 3.
Okay.
Right? Then we have different teachers coming in. Of course, there are also teachers who teach all the 3 modules, right? But there are some who just teach 1 or 2 modules, and same as the student helpers.
I see.
And we spread it over so that it's not so strenuous for the student who attend.
Yeah,
right?
of
And we also
course.
try to match with the Thai school calendar as well.
I see.
And the holidays. So when our holiday, we do the session, so we try to match. That's
I
why it
see.
stretched from October to about June.
I see. So when you mentioned like your student helpers, so how do you select your student helpers?
Oh, for students, in fact, we publicize the program.
Okay.
And we just open up to the student, and those are interested, they sign up. And when they
see.
sign up, I have a teacher coordinator. And this
see.
teacher coordinator will interview all the students, and we ask them what's their preference to help in which Thai class level, because we have primary 1 and 2 one level, 3 and 4 another level, and 5 and 6.
I see.
So the student, up to them, they may choose, oh, I want to help in primary 1 and 2 student, or
Okay.
5 and 6 student. So
I
we leave it
see.
to them, because since they volunteer to help, so we leave it to them. And usually they will be with their friends
Yeah.
to help in one class.
Yeah.
And usually I have about 3 to 4 students helping in one class.
I see.
So their task not just to help the teacher to teach some part of the lesson, but at the same time also sometimes help to translate, because our
see.
teachers, they are foreigners.
Of course,
Right,
yes.
So sometimes to explain certain one thing, they may not be able to explain clear.
Of
So we
course.
have this student helper to just help them in Thai, this is the meaning. So at least they will learn.
Yeah,
Right,
to get a
this is the
clear
purpose.
picture.
Yes, correct.
I
Yeah.
see. So will these same students be in the module 1, 2, 3, the same
Yeah,
students?
for the student, they will attend all the module 1, 2, and 3.
I see.
All the 3 modules.
I see. So what has been the feedback? Let's start from the students here at the school first.
Okay. At the school, in fact, our student helper, I feel that they feel proud that they're able to help others to learn English language.
Yeah.
And especially they feel great because I'm able to even teach, taking a teacher's role. I have a small role,
Yeah.
but still they feel great. That, wow, I'm given a chance to even coach 1-to-1. And of course, with this, we also hope they understand, hey, teachers work not that easy.
Yeah, definitely first-hand experience.
Correct. And then for our Thai students, so in fact after the first module,
Yeah.
after the first project ended, actually we conducted a survey. And from the survey, majority, in fact almost everyone enjoy the English lesson, enjoy coming here. And especially they indicate they love the teacher who teach them and also the student helper.
Oh,
So
really?
we're very happy to hear that. Even the snack we provided them during the break, they like
They
it very
even
much.
enjoy that
They
as
enjoy.
well. I
And
see.
I think about 50% of them indicate they like to continue project 2.
I
So
see.
we are very happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a really good project anyway, and especially if everyone's happy, then it's definitely a great
To us,
project.
is that as a corporation, I think we receive so much from society, and it's good that we return back
Of
to
course.
society.
Of
We
course.
can make a small contribution as staff, as student. I think it is part of our duty, and we actually, for our student in SISB, in fact, they are all involved with community service.
I see.
So this is, to me, is also part of it, other than the majority. So this is another project where they can involve themselves in the community service.
I see. Were there any challenges though during this project?
So far, I don't see any challenges, right? The only thing, the only challenge is, as I said just now earlier, that some of the Thai students don't quite understand. But of course, we have
of
the
course.
student to interpret, so that's solved that problem.
I
So
see.
other than that, I don't see any issue because volunteers just come, they
Yeah,
just volunteer.
of
And
course.
my volunteers is not just teachers, even the corporate staff, they also help.
Ah,
They also
okay.
came in to help.
So it's a teamwork basically.
Yeah, teamwork. And it's not just PU campus. I have staff from Suvarnabhumi campus, Ekamaya campus, because this is a SISB corporate
I see.
social responsibility project.
see.
So that's why I involve staff from other campuses there, so that it's really a SISB project.
I
It's
see.
a community service responsibility for the corporation.
I see. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for coming
You're
and
welcome.
sharing with us the information. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Okay, welcome.
Welcome back to our third break, and we are joined by another special guest, is Ms. Narisara Lertnam-Wongwan, Principal, Nursery and Kindergarten, and also Executive Principal of Ekamai Suvarnabhumi Thonburi and Chiang Mai campus. สวัสดีค่ะ Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So we already talked about the other project that the school been giving back to the society. So now we'll be talking about the We Give, We Share project. So can you tell us in more detail about this project, please?
Well, basically, the objective of this was to create awareness among our young learners
Okay.
about giving back to underprivileged children, just to show them that kindness of the heart is something they need to value.
Yes.
Basically, it started as a very small project, just with basic donations.
Okay.
But we felt that the children were not learning much from
Okay.
giving. So a team of us brainstormed, how can we keep them involved,
I see.
in this. So we started different activities for which they must be involved in bringing on board things or funds, sharing with them where those things are going to go, which lives they're going to affect.
I see.
So yeah, I mean basically just to create awareness in our society today with our next generation
I
about
see.
giving back.
I see. So you go to schools in rural areas or, in schools here in Bangkok?
We try to survey schools where less help gets there.
I see.
So yes, in rural areas, maybe at the borders where it's difficult to travel,
Yes.
and people find it very difficult to deliver things
I
or
see.
deliver education material.
I
And I
see.
think it brings most joy to those children who have
Definitely.
very little.
I
Yeah.
see. So how are the students involved, or are they just helping to find the stuff to give to the kids at these places, or they actually travel to the places as well and be part of giving these things to the kids there?
Interestingly, initially it was just bringing things that their parents prepare
I
and
see.
giving it to donations. But then there's a cut there because they don't know where it goes, because
Yes.
it goes somewhere very far away. It's hard to make them understand, things that are not tangible. So we started this activity of fundraising,
I see.
where they would be with their teachers and they will make things in the classroom, which then will be auctioned to their own parents.
I see.
And they are the ones who are auctioning it and collecting the money back and putting it into the boxes.
Can you give an example of the
Okay,
things?
very simple. The teachers would make cushions.
Okay.
Like for instance, last year with the demise of our late king,
Yes.
they were making cushions of the royal dog.
I see.
And they put their name behind it, and they did their stuffing with the teachers. They drew on it, and
I
they
see.
named it. And then we had a day where each class would get to come out and auction.
I see.
So the parents were really proud of their kids, and
Of
it's something they
course.
can use. And then they would collect the money from the parents, put it into the box, and together as a class they would count the money
I
and
see.
give it. Prior to that, we would show them each year where we're going
Okay.
and who we're going to give these things to, or this money is going to be buying what kind of things for the children.
I see. So what has been the feedback, let's say, from the people who received these donations?
It has been amazing. I think they have very little.
Of
One
course.
activity that we had also is the shoebox activity, where the children would bring shoe boxes to recycle, and then bring
Okay.
items from home to put it into the shoebox and write their names on it.
Okay.
And this shoebox then will be taken to the children and given to the children in December for like sort of a New Year gift
I
from
see.
the child. The response from the other children, they are so shocked because we are strangers to them.
Yeah.
And when they're getting things, you just see, they're just enthralled for the 3 hours where they're receiving gifts, receiving ice cream, receiving a lot of things that it's quite touching.
I see.
Yeah, it's quite touching.
Because earlier I've been talking to Mr. Kelvin. He mentioned solar panels as well. being given.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit more
Okay,
about
so
that?
fundraising, when we get the money, what we do is we surveyed the school. We asked the school, what are the items you need?
Okay.
And they need to send us pictures
Okay.
so that it's a genuine need.
Okay.
And then they will outline what they need and they will give us the cost.
I see.
And then that's when the fundraising begins, with us telling the parents that these are the things we would like to provide to the school.
I see.
So when the fundraising comes in, then we prioritize what they need. So some of them have no electricity, which means that the first thing we would need to give to them is, to have basic survival.
Of course.
So then we have solar panels, and some of the parents have connections. They then
I
donate
see.
solar panels. The ones that they donate, we use the money to buy
I
and
see.
get it delivered
I
to them
see.
so that they have electricity to use.
I see.
So there are solar panels, there's playground equipment, tables and chairs, uniforms, shoes, all these things that
I see. Everything from basic necessities
Absolutely.
to just gifts
to
and
building
toys.
walls, to building classrooms, because it's open air.
Yeah.
So when it rains, they can't
Of
use the
course.
classroom and all, to building walls if it's necessary
I
for
see.
them to have a classroom.
I see. So definitely a great project indeed.
Yes, yes.
So unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this break. Thank you
Okay.
so much for coming in and sharing with us the
Thank you.
information. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you.
Girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I may be crazy, don't mind me. Say, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room, and now my bedsheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body, every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of you. One last time, I need to be the one who takes you home. One more time, I promise after that I'll let you go. Baby, I don't care if you got hurt in your heart. All I really care is you wake up in my arms. One last time, I need to be the one who takes you home. It was great at the very start. Hands on each other, couldn't stand to be far apart. Closer the better. Now we're picking fights and slamming doors, magnifying all our flaws. And I wonder what for, why we keep coming back for more. Is it just our bodies? Are we both losing our minds? It's the only reason you're holding me tonight, 'cause we're scared to be lonely. Do we need somebody just to feel like we're alright? It's the only reason you're holding me tonight, 'cause we're scared to be lonely. I've been hearing symphonies. All I heard was silence, a rhapsody for you and me. And every melody is timeless. Life was stringing me along. Then you came and you cut me loose. The solo singing on my own. Now I can't find a key without you. Now your song is on repeat, and I'm dancing on to your heartbeat. And when you're gone, I feel incomplete. So if you want that is true, I just wanna be part of your symphony. Will you hold me tight and not let go? Symphony, like a love song on the radio. Will you hold me tight and not let go? Girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I may be crazy, don't mind me. Say, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. I'm in love with the shape of you. You push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too, I'm in love with your body. Last night you were in my room, and now my bedsheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body. Oh I, oh I, oh I, oh I. I'm in love with your body. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of you.
Giving is always a good trait to have, and by instilling that idea in the new generation while they are growing up is definitely a benefit to the community, society, their family, and of course themselves. SISB manages to combine giving with learning, and that is for sure a great project to have. And that's all the time we have for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. See you again next time. สวัสดีค่ะ